Welcome to Berlin, 1928. The war ended, but no one came out clean. The graves are full, the debts unpaid, and the war medals rust in kitchen drawers. What wasn't lost in the blood was burned in the heart. Banknotes used for kindling, wedding bands traded for meat. Now the city hums with light, not hope, distraction, credit, champagne, modernity. Everyone's chasing something here, a role, a fix, a night that feels like escape. You don't ask about the future. You survive the present with lipstick and nerve. You are a young German woman. You followed the girls before you, farm daughters who washed soil from their hands and painted their mouths red. They traded cows for corsets, virtue for rent. You followed them into the smoke and mirrors, into the throb of jazz and false eyelashes, into the lie that Berlin could make you unforgettable. In the dressing room of the Cabaret, the air presses down, heavy as a hell breath. Perfume sours in the heat. Powder clings to damp skin. Velvet curtains absorb everything. Sound, sweat, secrets. A bulb hums overhead, dim and defiant, stuttering through the haze. Light fractures across the mirror, catching on sequins that glint like broken promises. A feather boa wilts over the radiator. A corset lies open on the floor, spine up, discarded. You reach for your lipstick, blood red, unapologetic. Your fingers know the rhythm. How to paint a woman who doesn't tremble. How to survive being seen. The skirt hikes up, the garter bites your thigh. You need to look untouchable, even when you feel undone. Then, his voice again. Your father, like gravel in your chest. The man who carved wood with careful hands and spoke like rules, a scripture. He taught you how to knead dough, how to hush, how to serve. He said a woman's place was near the hearth, not under spotlights. He couldn't look at you when you wore lipstick. He said Berlin was not for young women. Said Germany was losing its spine, letting women vote and dance. The fatherland, he muttered, has opened its legs and called it progress. He said the war took everything, honor, structure, God, and now women danced on its grave. You hated his smallness, his clutching to rituals while the world turned to ash, but part of you still aches for the man who protected you at all costs, for the warmth of bread before dawn, for the belief that goodness had shape. You said goodbye without ceremony, left the farm, the hymns, the harvest, traded them for lace, gin, and the flicker of false worship. But sometimes you wonder, is this freedom, or just another kind of servitude, another script you've learned to read aloud? The girl you raised, modest, dutiful, wouldn't recognize you now, and yet she's still there, somewhere beneath the sequins. You look at the mirror. Your face is someone else's now. Lola. Lola doesn't flinch. Lola knows how to laugh without blinking. Lola knows how to dance with her hunger showing. You open the silver case. The powder waits, cold, clinical, patient. You breathe it in. Let it burn. Let it tighten the edges. Let it quiet the questions. The mirror catches your gaze. You don't blink. The light outside grows louder. The girl is gone, and Lola is ready for the stage. You approach the velvet curtain. It hangs like a secret, thick, red, undulating. Your fingers trace the fringe, soft as sin, heavy as shame. It parts a world you've made from smoke and longing. Backstage hums with heat. Powder floats like ghost light. Sweat slicks the small of your back. Smoke curls from a forgotten cigarette. The air is tight, like a corset you chose to wear. Your heart ticks. Not frantic, not calm, precise, purposeful, like a countdown. In the front, a pianist stumbles through a warm-up. Glass breaks. Laughter bursts too sharp. Someone curses. The club owner, a fat man, steps to the mic, leans in, voice low, and slurred. Nothing lasts. Not money, not love, not even tonight. So, drink deep, laugh hard, feast your eyes, because tomorrow is assumed, and tonight is all you have. A pulse rolls through the crowd. You feel it through the curtain. Nervous laughter, glass on glass, the hush before worship, like they're lighting candles in a church that forgot its gods. You whisper your own prayer to yourself. Live for tonight. Your weight shifts. The floor beneath your heels complains. You count. 1 tap. 2. Silence. Then, music. A breath of brass, a crash of cymbals. The curtain rises, and the light punches through. Hot, blinding, holy. You step into it like baptism. You don't walk. You strike. You don't move. You ignite. You are glitter and vengeance. You are survival in silk. You are Lola. Legs slice through hairs. Arms curl like smoke signals. Each turn says, I see you. I dare you. You'll never touch me. Your body aches. Your thigh burns. Pain is just another chord in the music. They don't see bruises. They see brilliance. They see exactly what you want them to. Eyes glisten. Coins, ghosts, cravings. You give them shimmer and shadow. You give them the egg they came for. You see them. The man who drinks to forget he has no legs. The banker with shaking hands. The stern man with a red armband and empty eyes. They want salvation. You give them a spectacle. They want a future. You give them a moment. You are not what they pray for. You are what they beg for. And tonight they will worship. Because under these lights, you are the thing they cannot name and cannot forget. You think to yourself, on stage, I'm not a girl, I'm a goddess. And they'll pray to me until the lights go down. You race backstage, still crackling with the crowd's energy. Applause in your veins, glitter on your skin. For a moment, you're still spinning, still glowing, still divine. Then the door clicks shut behind you and silence drops like a curtain. No spotlight, no sound, just you and the mirror. It doesn't clap, it doesn't blink, it doesn't care. It only reflects what's left. Mascara clinging to the corners of your eyes. Rouge, bearded, glitter, sweat slicked and stubborn. The face staring back, unapplauded, unlit, unloved. Still, you sit, you pick up the brush, lip, brow, cheek. You don't just repair her, you resurrect her. Then, a flicker of a memory comes to you. You remember the artist, the one with dark hair that fell longer than any proper German man should. He sketched you like he'd discovered something rare. Said your curves gave his lines meaning. Called you the shape of inspiration, his muse. He adored you until he didn't. Until another girl walked into the cafe and he vanished with her shadow. You never see his name anymore, but sometimes you still feel it. The outline of his gaze. The way he saw you before you knew how to see yourself. The rush of feeling alive by igniting someone else's genius. They cheered tonight like you were salvation. He sketched you like you were eternal, but neither of them stayed. A sound pulls you back, soft, broken. A woman sobbing through the wall. Thin, trembling. It's Angela. She says she was fired and must leave immediately. It was her weight. Too many curves, not enough willpower. But you know better. she missed a period, an unwanted pregnancy, and now she's gone. No scandal, no whisper of farewell. Just vanished, like she was never part of the show at all. You open the silver case. The powder waits, clean, cold, patient. You inhale. A quiet burn. Your spine sharpens. The mirror observes. All flicker and silence. It never speaks. And neither do you. You slip onto the cabaret floor. The cabaret breathes smoke and velvet. Perfume hangs thick in the air. Sweet, cloying, almost suffocating. Laughter cracks like glass. Jazz moans low and dirty, slinking between tables like a cat in heat. Every step you take is part glide, part performance. You know how to move. You know how to be seen. The patrons here shimmer, but only on credit. Gold watches over threadbare cuffs. Suit ties cinched like nooses. No one can afford this life, but no one can afford not to pretend. People tip like money might vanish tomorrow, because once it did. You still remember the woman who lit her stove with banknotes. The flame caught fast. The silence after burned slower. That memory lives in your bones. You don't need money to feel rich in here, just rouge, rhythm, and the will to believe the lie. You've learned how to wear hunger like perfume, how to hold a gaze until it gives you what you want. And then you see him in the corner, curly black hair, black-rimmed glasses catching candlelight, a slight frame, still as punctuation. He drinks tea, not schnapps. There's no laughter on his lips, no cigarette between his fingers, only stillness, quiet, deliberate, observing. A man who doesn't belong here, which is exactly why he does. Something flickers in your chest, hope disguised as speculation. Maybe he's a scout, the kind who prowls clubs for untapped beauty, fresh faces to throw at the silver screen. Maybe he's looking for a star, and maybe tonight he sees her. You move closer, let your eyes catch his, let your mouth curve into something dangerous. You purr to him, careful darling, a girl like me ruins men like you. A pause, then his reply, low and steady, or saves them. His name is Levi. You don't ask why he's here, but part of you has already decided. If he came for you, you'll let him believe he's the one who discovered you. A voice slices through the music, wet with beer, cracked with hate. He lurches to his feet, thick-necked, narrow-eyed, the kind of man who doesn't shout for attention. He shouts because he believes he already owns the room. His stein arcs through the smoky air. Crash. Amber beer explodes across Levi's chest. Porcelain clatters. Tea runs across the velvet like blood. You, the man growls, spit catching in the light. Jew. You've chained Germany in debt. You've bled the fatherland dry. Then he turns on you. His eyes crawl up your legs like blame, and he yells, "And you, painted whore, you've pissed on our virtue. You've shattered German womanhood. There'll be no return to glory with mothers like you." You've heard of men like him, National Socialists. Until now, they were just rumours tucked between cafe gossip and bad headlines. But tonight, one of them wears his hate like a uniform, and he's close enough to smell the powder on your skin. Still, you don't flinch. Your smile blooms slow, curved like a blade, and you say, in a voice as cool as powder, "Glory's a bore, give me glitz, darling." Laughter pops the tension like champagne. The pianist slams into a ragtime riff, a defiant tune of joy. The man storms out, boots pounding like war drums. The door swings behind him, open just long enough to let in a cold wind. For a moment, you look at Levi. Levi says nothing. He just stares at the teacup, fractured, trembling in his hands. The tea drips quietly from his coat. Then he stands, wraps himself in his coat like armour, and slips into the dark. The crowd parting for him without a word. Outside, the city keeps humming, but beneath the jazz and gin, something has shifted. And though no one names it yet, you feel it, and a chill beneath the glitter, something gathering, waiting. Later that night, you walk home. The street glistens with last night's rain and leftover champagne. Cobblestones slick beneath your heels. Neon flickers in puddles like broken stars. Berlin hums, low, electric, endless. Posters flap on brick walls. Boxing matches, jazz quartets, American films with German subtitles. Everything for sale, even the future. The scent of bakeries making their first batch of morning bread tangles with perfume and something metallic. Streetcar grease maybe, or blood no one cleaned. You pass a cafe window. Inside, artists, theorists, dreamers. A woman sketches between drags of a cigarette. A man recites philosophy, hands trembling with hunger or brilliance. They all look like they haven't slept in days. Then you see him, a man with no legs, a veteran of the Great War. His wheelchair creaks as he lights a match with steady hands. You nod and say, Guten Nacht. His eyes meet yours, dull, unblinking, a battlefield still breathing. No feminine mystique can heal what the war hollowed out. You turn the corner, and the city thins. A dog barks. A baby cries behind a shuttered window. The glamour fades here, threadbare as the lining of your coat. You think of your father, his hands cracked from years in the soil, his voice barking that a woman doesn't belong in a city alone. You remember the way he stared at your hemline, not just at the skin, but at what it meant. You remember how you didn't flinch. You just picked up your suitcase. You left wide fields for narrow stages. You traded soil for sequins, obedience for applause. Tonight, your heels click in rhythm with the streetcar track. You hum the melody from your set. It's the only thing steady. You smile, just barely. Because this is your Berlin now, and your price for independence is no one waiting at home. Your apartment is colder than the Cabaret's coat room. Wallpaper curls from the walls like dried petals, yellowed and fraying, as if the room itself is trying to shed memory. The metal bed frame groans beneath a threadbare blanket. Above you, the neighbours argue again. You hear their boots stomping, voices sharp. Something shatters. You don't flinch. That's just the lullaby of this place. Your costume hangs, its sequins dulled by sweat and smoke. The only silk you own, the only gold left in your life. You strike a match from the club. You inhale a cigarette, slow and smoky. Ash falls into the chipped teacup, the one the artist once held as he sketched your figure. The kettle wails on the stove. You pour the water, no tea, only the gesture, the warmth, the lie of comfort. Your face is bare now, no rouge, no lashes, no goddess, only the girl underneath, tired, peeled down to ache. You mould over the night and murmur to yourself. They scream like I'm divine, but I sleep beside mould and broken tile. You reach for the sweater left here by the artist. It still smells faintly of turpentine and bergamot, and still wears the shape of his shoulders. You pull it over your slip like a hug. He once sketched you like you were sacred, said your angles gave him purpose, said your eyes held stories he hadn't earned yet. You believed him. Of course you did. Now his hands sketch other faces. You haven't seen his name in months, but your body still remembers what it felt like to be seen like that, to be loved like discovery. You lie back on the narrow mattress. The tune from your act hums in your throat, a ghost of glitter and brass. Now it sounds like longing. You whisper, I left the farm to become someone. Now I'm too much for there, and not enough for here. Outside, Berlin hums, neon buzzing, brakes hissing, jazz leaking through the cracks. Everyone chasing forgetfulness. But in here, only the slow curl of smoke, the hollow echo of your breath, and the mirror across the room, watching quietly. It doesn't call you Lola, it remembers your real name, the one given to you by your father, Gretchen. That was your name once, before the artist traced new lines over your skin, before the stage claimed your body in glitter and ash. You asked for freedom, you got it, but at what cost? You chose this, didn't you?